Well, hey there. I'm Liz St. Jean, and this is the Rise in Your 9 to 5 podcast, where I help quietly ambitious leaders who want to have meaningful and fulfilling careers, making an impact in the world. It's where strategy meets intuition to become a better leader with more joy, less stress, and endless impact. So let's break free from perfectionism, imposter thoughts, and that inner rule keeper that keeps you in a career comfort zone. It's time to become unapologetically you and step into the life you are meant to live. We're going to talk presence, productivity, and having it all. Or, as my 4-year-old would say, we're going to take over the world. So let's get to it. Well, hello there. Welcome back to the show. So those who have been following along live, you'll know it has been a little while since I last recorded my episode. We are now kicking off season 4 with a really special topic, all about getting an internal promotion. I'm so excited to be back. I'm so excited to have this topic for you. We are going to be digging into all kinds of things around getting an internal promotion. So one of the things, let's just kick it right off and talk about the different types of internal promotions there are out there. Because sometimes we just know what we know. We don't realize there's so many different ways of making it happen or having it happen sometimes to us. So when it comes to getting an internal promotion, it can be on one end of the spectrum to be extremely structured, all the way to the other end of the spectrum where it's just kind of a wild, wild west in terms of who gets promoted and how. So one of the ways of getting an internal promotion is going through a formal process. And if that's your case, you really want to make sure that you understand what the formal process is, how it works, what they're looking for. That said, if you are facing a very structured formal process, don't assume that everything is written down and that everything written down is exactly how it goes. That's just not the way human nature is. That's just not the way organizations function. Even if there's, posters on the wall or emails or policies that say it goes a certain way, it's not always the way it works. So make sure you know your system, but also make sure that you know how it really works. Then all the way at the other end of the spectrum is the wild, wild west. And this is where promotions can be handed out at whim. Completely at whim, someone can get tapped and get promoted, and there's no questions, there's no structure, there is nothing, at least as far as you know. So if you are in the situation or you think you're in the situation, definitely you want to make sure that you understand what it is that's looked for, what is promoted in your organization, what is looked for, how are people seen as being promotable. But you also do want to really consider, are there perhaps some structures that people can make use of, right? So the lesson here for both cases is make sure you know what system you're in, and then don't assume that's the only way the system works. Now, somewhere in the middle, or maybe even off that kind of spectrum there's another way of getting promoted, and that is to create your own promotion, to create your own role. This is the situation where you can envision a certain role, and it's a promotion, either as a special opportunity or it's an actual promotion. You want to create a role, and you need to play advocate for that role. You are making a case for it. You're making an argument. It's a little bit like being an entrepreneur, but within an organization. So we like to call those intrapreneurs. And it's a little bit like wanting to create a startup. So you're trying to convince people to give you the funds, essentially give you the promotion to start up the role. Now, this is a really interesting one because it combines elements of both, right? You really want to understand what gets supported in your organization. You also really want to understand what are the structures, what are the policies, what are the procedures and processes that you need to know and make sure that you've predicted and you're aware of so that you can make your argument and make your case that both the positions should be created and that you are the one to fill it. So those are 3 types of promotions. As we go into the season, I'm sure we will talk about other types, but let's just start with those. And what I want you to take away from this season opener is a call to action to go find out and really think about what is the internal promotion that you're looking at. And is it even a quote unquote rise, like rising up the ladder, up the hierarchy, or is there something else? Is there a lateral promotion or a special opportunity? Promotions don't always have to be about moving up into the next level, though they can be. Of course, they can be. And I'm sure a lot of you listening have your sights set on that, moving to the next level. And we'll be digging into that as well in this season about moving to the literally to the next level, taking, your boss's role if your boss is moving on or moving up, or going diagonally, or even going to a totally different part of the organization as part of your promotion. So I'm really excited to get this started, and I want to hear from you. I want to hear, what are your ideas? What are your questions? What are your thoughts that you want me to cover on this season about getting an internal promotion? What are the challenges you see? What are the frustrations that you have? What's the joy of it that you want to share? I want you to tell me that so I know exactly what it is you're looking for in this season. So to share that with me, head on over to themintambition.com/ideas, IDEAS. That's themintambition.com/ideas. And let me know. Tell me, what are your questions? What are your frustrations? What is it that would be really helpful for me to talk about from my experience and my coaching, or to bring on some very special guest experts to help us out in understanding and cracking the nut of when it comes to an internal promotion?
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Now, before you go, make sure you click to follow the show. This way, you don't have to go looking for the latest episode. I'll come to you. Just click the plus button or the follow, and you'll get the latest episode fresh off the press. Thanks again. And remember that you are amazing. Now get out there and rise.